your house. You've hosted all kinds of big events there. I've seen pictures that looks like the backyard has 600 people in the backyard. I mean, were you serving free beer? I mean, how did you how did you all use your home as kind of a center point of your strategy there?
We actually did start to serve some beer, and I would tell the fraternity guys that there was beer and there'd be beer in the back, and they'd kind of look at me, and I said, "It's root beer, of course." And I actually found some kegs. I found kegs of root beer.
That's awesome.
I found out these fraternity guys, they were not good in social situations where there was not beer, and without something in their hand. So I would give them something in their hand to just make them feel a little bit more comfortable. They'd be at my house, and they'd be kind of grouped up in the corner, like not talking to anybody. It was just funny, but we absolutely would that was one of our, especially in the fall, one of the ways that we use to build trust with students, because if you can get someone to come to your house, it's one thing to see you on campus, but then you come into your home and it's like, okay, like this is a normal guy, and he's not a weird guy, so I can trust this guy. So our first year, our staff team, we got together and said, okay, we've got a couple small groups going on campus. Let's just have them over for dinner. And you're so nervous you're going to put something together, and people are going to no show. So we had two groups of guys, and we had two groups of girls of Bible studies, and we told the two groups of guys, we said, hey, okay, how we have this small group going on with you guys? And these guys were not believers yet. They were like very investigative studies. I said, we actually have another group. So this is year one. We have another group that's doing the same thing as you guys. They're like, oh. And I said, and you met our wife the other day. Well, our wives, there's another guy on staff with me, and his wife was on staff, said our wives are leading some groups of girls. And man, you guys would really like these girls. And so they're interested. And I said, okay, we thought it'd be fun if the four groups, two guy groups, two girl groups, would come over to, we'll do like a little group date, and we'll host it at our house and we'll make the dinner for you guys. And of course, these guys are interested. And, especially freshmen, like first fall on campus, like people are just willing to go do stuff, right? And go meet people. And so we were really using that to our advantage. But I told these guys, I said, hey, right now, every single guy has to commit to going, or we're not going to do this. Because the worst thing in the world would be if all these girls show up to my house and y'all aren't there. So y'all got to commit right now to doing it.
Love it.
And so they said, all right, we're doing this. And so they all showed up, and it was funny. I was early on in marriage, and the other girl on our staff team, she was they hadn't prepared a lot of food for a big group. So they made this crock pot of food, and the people went through the line. The first 5 people went through the line. It was 5 girls, and we had made some taco soup. And the 5th girl says, okay, where's the next crock pot of food? We're out. And our wives looked at each other like, wait, what? They're out? Like we're making food for 20 something people, and the 5th person is out. Like they didn't know how much to make.
Oh no.
But so I remember that night, I think there was around 20 something people at our house, and man, it was just like we were high-fiving each other, like this is so cool. Well, then what those students go do, I mean, we took pictures, so now those pictures are showing up on social media, and so there's some social proof there. But now they're telling their friends on campus, yeah, we went to their house, we had a great time, and so then that became a staple. So the next fall, we had another dinner, and at that time we had 100 students show up. And then the next year it was like, oh, we got to keep, like, this is what we do now. And so we would always do it 3 or 4 weeks into campus, and we would use those first 3 or 4 weeks, especially as we started getting some leaders. Hey, this is what we're doing for the next 3 or 4 weeks. All we're caring about is meeting people and trying to get people to show up to the dinner in 3 or 4 weeks. Because we knew if they just came to the dinner, like we would gain so much trust with them. Mm-hmm. And so they would show up, and I remember I would invite people and say, hey, I'm having a dinner at my house, man, why don't you come? And some of these guys would think like a dinner, like 5 people would be there or 10 people. And then they would show up. And then in our last year, we had like 600 people there. And they were like, whoa. And I lived like in a normal neighborhood with like not a huge, I mean, they all fit in the backyard. And I would be out in the driveway. I would be greeting everybody, and we'd even put name tags on them, but we'd welcome them in. I'm so glad you're here. And then they'd stand in line in my kitchen. Then they'd go out in the backyard, and one year we had a jumping mule in the backyard. We were doing all sorts of fun stuff back there. I had a guy come in and do like Mexican style music. Like what do you call that?
Well, you got a photo booth too, where they could all take pictures and stuff, and
Oh yeah, we always did a photo booth because we wanted them to take the pictures and we wanted them to post it. So all the people that weren't there, like the next day on campus, were like, what was that thing that you were at? So there was just so much value in people coming to your house. They get to interact with other people, social proof, and so then, we kept it going. We'd do 2 of those in the fall normally.
That is so awesome. I love that it's that relational side of ministry that really gets people connected.